Golf is back. 2025 season. I am so excited. We're starting with the Sentry. It's a super busy production schedule this week over at WagerTalk. So Nick and Joe are going to be joining me next week. Joe will be doing all the producing. Nick will be back on with me. So I'm doing this episode all about myself. I'm producing. I'm doing everything. So bear with me, but we're going to break down the Sentry. We're going to go over some Draftkings Darlings, players that can trip you up, and some other things as well. So welcome, everybody. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. We got a lot to go over. You can still join our fantasy golf league if you're interested. I'll share an email with you if you want to join. Just send me an email. We'll get you hooked up. We've been doing this for over 10 years and tons of spots available. So if you're interested in playing fantasy golf with us, I'll show you guys that email. But let's get into this course here. And of course, when you go to the Sentry, you go to Kapalua to start off with, and it is just an absolutely gorgeous course. It's easy, though. That's the thing with this course. It is ridiculously easy. It's kind of long, but it's a par 73. These fairways are super wide. Visually, I don't know if it gets much better than this course, though. So that's one of the cool things is, even though guys are going to be absolutely shredding this course this week, man, the views are just spectacular. It looks great on TV. So what do we know about this? Par 73. The fairways are super wide, and wind is the only defense that this course has, and it doesn't even look like the winds are going to be up to 20 miles an hour for the first couple days. So don't be surprised if these guys break minus 30. The last 4 years, this course is ranked as the easiest course that they play. So, yeah, it's if you love low-scoring courses, this may be the lowest score of the year, first one. This used to be called the Tournament of Champions. You've got last year's winners, but then you got a few other qualifiers, some top 50 FedExCup guys. Obviously, Schauffele's not going to be playing this week because he accidentally cut himself and got glass in his hand, and he had to have surgery. I actually worked with a girl that did this when I was working at a restaurant just out of college. She did this exact same thing, and it was a nightmare. So I really hope Schauffele doesn't have too bad of an injury here, that we see him soon. Rory's not playing, neither Fleetwood and Lowry. But other than that, you got some bigger name guys. And one guy in particular I'm going to be interested in watching is Ludwig Aberg. See how that knee is coming along. See if he can get a little bit more consistency. If that guy gets consistent from round to round, look out, especially on a course like this where he can bomb the ball and not have much penalty. So, yeah, there's just not much to it. You're going to swing wide. There's not a whole lot of holes with big defenses on it, and with the wind down, look for low scores. So, so last year, what I would do is I would talk about my 3 favorite holes on the course. Now, when I went back and looked, I always talked about the 18th hole because I love good, solid 18th holes. I think the finishing hole on a golf course is just super important. It can lead to drama. If it's a bad hole or not an exciting hole, it can be kind of a letdown. So here's what I'm going to do this year. This year, I'm going to rank my favorite hole on the course, and then I'm going to dissect the 18th hole on every single course. So we'll start with my favorite hole, and it is it's the 5th hole. It's a par 5, 526 yards. And what's funny about this hole is this little bunker here in the middle of the fairway. This was just like the easiest hole ever. So they're like, let's just put a bunker in the middle of the fairway right where the ball lands on the drives. So there are going to be some guys that are going to be able to fly this thing. There's going to be some guys that aren't going to be able to. Or then you're left with, do I go over to the left or the right? I don't think there's going to – I don't know how the wind is going to be on this hole, but you're really trying to get it to the left or the right. And this hole can be interesting. If you spray it right or left, there's some pretty thick jungle going on, especially to the left. So you do have to hit the fairway. Now, if you hit the fairway clean, you got a nice, easy shot coming into this hole. I love how they tuck this hole back behind, this jungle ditch area, and then they got bunkers where, behind it. So it is protected. You're not going to be able to roll the ball up onto the green with your second shot. It's about distance control. There's going to be some big-time eagle attempts on this hole, a lot of birdies. There are going to be some guys that leave the ball short or leave it long and give them a tough go at it. So this is a big-time hole with big-time scoring. Whoever wins this tournament probably plays this hole 5 under, maybe 6 under. You can get a couple eagles, but there's no excuse to not absolutely shred this one. I like this hole a lot. It's my favorite hole on this course. 18th hole. All right. Maybe the most beautiful tee shot. There's some other courses that have some really killer views, but this one, man, is just, man, is it a beautiful shot. So the thing that's about this 18th hole is every ball is going to land kind of over here on the left side of the fairway. It just slopes way down. The ball is going to roll a mile. You got to make sure you don't put it in this thick stuff, because then you got to hack it out. But as long as the ball stays in the fairway or the short rough, you're going to be able to rip it around kind of a dog leg. Most guys are going to be able to fly it over these bunkers, or, you know, kind of punch it out into the fairway here where you got an up and down. The green is huge, so you're going to have some really like long eagle putts, and the lag putt becomes really important. You know, if you leave a huge long lag putt, you leave that thing 7 or 8 feet short, there's a chance you could walk away with a par on a really, really easy hole. So, what do I like about this hole? It's just beautiful to watch. The tee shot is great. It's a little gimmicky for me on the 18th hole, but it does kind of fit the style of this course. So all the balls landing in the same area is a little bit hokey to me. So it's not very difficult. So I can't really give it a super high rating. I give it a 6.8 out of 10 as far as ranking. I don't give out 10s, but 6.8. It's okay. It's middle of the pack, but it's certainly not anything that I would be writing home about. So, all right, let's move on to players that can trip you up. First player that we're going to talk about is Patrick Cantlay. He's priced as a top 6 guy to win, and he's finished 12th and 16th here the last 2 years. I just am not going to be able to take any action on Cantlay. He's regressed over the last year, and over the last 6 months, he's 13th best in this field in total strokes gained. That's without Scheffler, that's without McIlroy, that's without Fleetwood. So I think that's even 3 guys that would be above him. It really comes down to putting. He's been awful after being one of the best putters, if not the best putter on tour. Minus 0.09 strokes gained putting the last 6 months. That is unacceptable for a guy of his caliber. Only plus 0.16 the last 12 months. So he's got to get his putting figured out. Otherwise, he's just not going to be able to compete for wins with some of these other guys. So for Cantlay, I'm just going to need to see it before I believe it. So he's going to, in order for me to bet on him, I'm going to have to see a lot. And I know it just sounded like, well, Patrick Cantlay's got to prove a lot to me. He doesn't, but I'm not betting on him with my hard-earned money. So this is your annual reminder that Viktor Hovland, for whatever reason, cannot play at this course. I don't know why. It's an easy course, and yet he just struggles mightily. He's finished 22nd, 18th, 30th, and 31st in 4 appearances here. This is in short fields. This is not a 150-person field. A couple times we played, I think they were still only doing the 30 to 35 winners, and then now it's 60. But I just don't know why he struggles so much. His scrambling and chipping is awful. It's his big Achilles heel. But this is not a difficult course. I have no idea why he is this bad here. Whatever reason, he does not feel comfortable at this course. He cannot go long, or he cannot go short on these on these scores. So we're just avoiding Viktor Hovland. Maybe he changes, and maybe he comes out firing low numbers. But his finishes here are just absolutely wild. They really are shocking how bad they've been. So, all right, guys, just a real quick reminder, everybody, this show is brought to you by WagerTalk. We've got a bunch of plays up. If you're watching this on Tuesday, it is still $5 Tuesday. We have our NHL best bet, 21-7 NHL run, and 8-1 in our last 9 plays in NHL. So if you're watching this on Tuesday, go get that NHL play. If you're watching this on Wednesday, Golf Pack will be up, as well as plays for the weekend. Our darts tournament is going great. 28-12 in the World Championships of Darts since the beginning of that. Tennis is in full swing. We're going to have Australian Open plays coming up real soon. So we got a lot of big things coming up at WagerTalk. But again, if you're watching this on Tuesday, grab the NHL play. If you're watching this on Wednesday, just go to my profile page, see what we have up. We're wrapping up 2024, another big year. We're up 125 units, all sports. We are number 1 the last 2 years in units. Nobody's brought in more units the last 2 years, and that includes golf. Wrapped up number one spot in golf profits last year, and that makes me number one lifetime. So I could not be more happy with how we've done in golf. Golf and auto racing never had a losing season since joining WagerTalk. So 2025 setting up to be another big year. Take advantage of that. wt.buzz/AL over at wagertalk.com. All right, let us do a few DraftKings Darlings, and then here at the end, I'll give out that email address if you want to join our fantasy golf league. So, DraftKings Darlings. Let us start with our good friend Aaron Rye. He made us a ton of money towards the end of the season. 19th in total strokes gained in this field in the last 6 months. Now, he started off 2024 really slow, but he picked it up big and finished 2024 14 made cuts in a row, 9 top 20 finishes. He got the win. Now, he was bad at this tournament last year. I'm willing to take the discounted price at 6,700 here, though. If he plays up to his caliber, like what he finished 2024 on, I think we're going to get a steal at 6,700. So Aaron Rye is going to be my first DraftKings darling. You guys who have been watching the show remember Eric Cole. He was 2023's DraftKings darling of the year. Using him again at 6,900. He finished 14th here last year. Last 6 months, he's 18th in the field in total strokes gained. If I can get another top 20 finish from Eric Cole, 6,900 is going to be completely undervalued. And we're sitting on a really, really good couple of guys there in Aaron Rye and Eric Cole. And then we'll take a sprinkle on Maverick McNeely. Never played here, but he's finished 6th, 17th, and 1st in his last 3 tournaments. So I get a guy that's looked great coming into 2025 with a lot of momentum. His stats aren't amazing, but he is a really good putter. And you got to have a hot putter on a birdie fest type of course. So 7,500 is pretty good. So that's how I'm going to build my lineup. I have a free article that is up at WagerTalk where every week we do the course preview. We talk about the players that can trip you up. We talk about the DraftKings darlings and then the full DraftKings lineup for this week. I'll give you the rest of my DraftKings lineup. I've got Aaron Rye, Eric Cole, and Maverick McNeely. I'm going to add Byung-Hun An. I expect a nice year from Ben An. I have high expectations for Sungjae Im this year. He's at 9,500, and then I just have to have Xander Schauffele, the highest price guy at 11,000 in my lineup. So Ben An, Sungjae Im, and Xander Schauffele are going to fill out my lineup. I could talk about Sungjae Im a little bit. Pretty decent price on DraftKings for him to finish in the top 20 this week. He's done it all 4 years that he's played here. 3 of those years he finished inside the top 10. The last 6 months he's 4th in total strokes gained in this field. I think this year it comes together for Sungjae Im. When he got to the PGA Tour, he was young. There was stories about how him and his parents were traveling around and staying in the same hotel rooms, and it feels like he's an adult now and that he's kind of got a really good support system and that he's kind of entered the next stage of his life and the next stage of his career. And when these guys kind of get calm and when there's less chaos and they're more grounded, we know what Sungjae Im's upside is going to be. But I think this could be a really, really good year for Sungjae Im. The numbers say that in the last 6 months, he was really, really playing well. So I'd like to be betting on Sungjae Im to start the year. Hopefully the books give us some good value on that. But I believe it's minus 165 to finish in the top 20. Yeah, in this field with no McIlroy, no Fleetwood, no Scheffler. Those are 3 guys I would expect to be in the top 20, and they're just not going to be in there this year. So that would be a way that I would look at that. So, all right, Fantasy Golf League. If you want to join, just email me at bumprunsports@gmail.com. We've been doing this league for 10 years. We use the fantasy site at pgatour.com. It's $100 to enter. You pick 4 golfers as your starters, and you have 2 bench guys. If any of your starters miss the cut, you can swap in the starters. It's broken down into 3 different segments throughout the whole season. You get to use each golfer 3 times per segment. It's kind of the basic fantasy golf format. Like I said, we've been doing this over a decade. It's a lot of fun. Just email me. I'll send you a specific link that you can go join, and we can get you locked in. Tournament starts Thursday, believe it or not. So make sure you do this by Wednesday evening so you get into the league. But yeah, don't forget, just email bumprunsports@gmail.com. All right, guys, leave a comment in the comment section. Listen, our golf show, you guys did fantastic posting some of the plays and the things that you like. You know, I love seeing what you guys are playing. It's a really great community. I love doing these sports that, Monday Night Football will do a video. It's got 12,000 views, and you can't really respond to all the comments. But golf, I love these golf videos because we get to know you guys. So don't be a stranger. Reach out to us. Just say hi in the comment section. I'm glad to have you guys with us this year. Let's make it another profitable year. Good luck on all your plays. And myself and Nick will be back next week to preview the next tournament. Good luck in your plays. We'll see everyone later.